Christian will be on.
What are you trying to hand my bailiff?
I tried to turn this into the clerk, but she's like, "Oh, time's kind of running out. You should just go in the courtroom." Giving it to you is like quick.
Before this hearing even begins, tensions are already rising. A tenant walks into court claiming a severe rat infestation destroyed his home, his belongings, and even cost him his job. On the other side, the landlord says the real problem is simple: unpaid rent. Now the judge has to sort through two very different stories: emotional claims versus legal proof. And in court, there's one rule that always matters more than emotion: evidence. The question is, will the tenant actually have the proof to back up his story?
This way.
What is it?
It's just a summary of the reality since January 31st till today. I could read it.
The reality of what? Of the household or of life in general?
The reality of this court case and judge.
Well, you have to show it to the plaintiff before I'm going to even begin to look at it. Do you mind?
I don't mind. No, you know, this would be his argument today. You know, it's just a roadmap to his argument.
All right.
I just have a couple comments that I forgot to put in there.
Sure.
This is my favorite sweatshirt. And like, this has all been eaten by rats. There's here, the sweatshirt underneath has been eaten by rats. I've lost two pairs of Michael Jordan tennis shoes that are eaten by rats. These pants are eaten by rats. My really nice pair of Kappa pants that were like fuck, eaten by rats. I removed everything that I could from that house that's rat infested, that's owned by Mr. Weasel. But like, due to my disability, I couldn't move on the couch and table and chairs. But I had to like cut my king size mattress in half. I cut my dresser in half, all with the chainsaw. Took me, and then I cut my mattress with a knife. So like I know he's withholding the deposit. I left a couch in there, but like, you know, I did literally as much as I could, like without taking myself. So.
Good morning, we're on today's final settlement conference. Plaintiff is requesting, last the court acted, Mr. Janowiak was ordered out by January 31st. He did that.
Right.
He vacated the premises on time. Plaintiff was withholding security deposit. We haven't had a forwarding address given to us.
It's a P.O. box because I'm homeless.
But the rent has been withheld for the security deposit has been withheld for unpaid rents, not for damage to the premises. There was some furniture left, and I would say excessive filth and trash, which demanded cleaning, but that hasn't been, we haven't charged for that at present. And so plaintiff.
Don't mean that. How much was the security?
The security deposit was $1,000.
Okay.
The outstanding rent, including the gas bill that was never changed over to his name.
It was changed on the 31st. It was
Sir. Hang on. I will let you respond. I always do. But go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The unpaid rent and gas bill is $4,005.19. If Your Honor were to, so if we apply the security deposit, the amount outstanding is $3,005.19. If Your Honor were to disperse the escrow funds, unpaid rents would be $1,770.19. And so that's what plaintiff is asking for today, Your Honor. I can make additional arguments for why I believe there's no triangle issue in this case. If that,
the DTA was taken out on the 30th. That was gone by
The 30th of January.
on January, yeah. And then I'll make that is a straight lie. I mean, he also.
Hold on. He didn't say that you didn't take it out of your name. I mean, you're not charging for the 14 days, are you?
Correct. So my understanding is that he was required to put the gas into his name, and that either didn't happen or went unpaid, one or the other. So I believe my client's books records show that they were just auto paying the gas over the course of his lease.
That's not.
And how much is the gas of this amount?
We're talking about approximately, I have it broken down by month here, but approximately $200.
That is, I've been paying my DTE every month since I've been there. That's a straight lie. Like, that's a pure lie. Like, swear to God.
Okay,
That's a pure
so
lie.
hang
The
on.
records are there. I mean, how can you lie about that?
But hold on. You didn't pay the rent, so
I know I owe DTE like $400. That's it.
well, they're only saying it's about 200 that they paid over the time.
I paid my DTE bill. I paid all the bills I needed to pay up until this rat infestation was not taken care of. And then they lied about the rat poop, and they didn't.
Okay, but hold on.
This is a nightmare.
The security deposit can properly be deducted pursuant to statute against back rent. If there's $1,250, I think it is, in escrow. If that's paid over to the plaintiff, they have the $1,000. Your balance with your unpaid rent and the gas bill, but hold on, would come to the $1,770.19. If I were then, and maybe over the objection of plaintiff, but again, I really don't have a tribal issue, and I don't know if plaintiff wants to try it over $200. If I were to give you credit for the $200 gas bill that they're claiming,
That's it, just $200 over the whole time, not $200 every month. I just have this understanding. I'm sorry.
well, if you had listened to what counsel was saying, that's what he's indicated to me, that it's about $200 that they've paid. So if I give you credit for the $200, that would bring any judgment amount to $1,570.19. So I give you credit for the gas.
So I'm disabled and homeless. I can't afford to pay anything. I'm barely eating as it is. And I lost my job because of this rat infestation. I worked from home for AAA. There's a full-blown rat infestation in the house. He got my next door neighbor to lie about it. Who is Steve?
Sir, I've been through that initially. I think
I
it
know.
was badgers. Then I think there was a beaver that came up.
Yeah.
Then that transformed into mice. And then they became rats.
Yeah, it just comes
And
out.
I know all of those rodents running around. I know.
I'm not blowing smoke. I never blow smoke at the judge. I'm blowing smoke.
No, I'm not saying that you're blowing smoke. I'm just saying that's a lot of vermin
It's a lot.
in one spot.
And eating my clothes, eating my food. Look at this. Clothes. My clothes are eaten. I've had to throw away. At least $500 in clothes because they're just lying about it. This is an inverted nightmare.
Sir, I don't have anything to try. What you've asked me for, and I read over what you gave to the court, you want the escrow back. I don't think that's proper because the rent hasn't been paid. Also, in looking at everything in regard to this, I don't see where you would be entitled to any abatement necessarily of any rent in this, or that they're gonna need to pay you damages.
So the damages are my clothes have been gone. I lost my job because the rats were literally underneath my bed. They were nesting. They were nesting inside the dresser, a foot from my house. A foot from where I laid my bed where I lay down. I mean, there's a rat's nest literally underneath my bed inside the house, and then lied about it while we were all standing in rat food. And then this kept going on, and no professionals were hired.
I've listened to you every time you come here. I understand what you're telling me. But just because you keep repeating it doesn't make it true. You would have had to substantiate that, and you haven't. And so all I'm here to do today is we've dealt with the possession issue. Now we're dealing with just the monetary issue. And I don't think there's an issue for me to try regarding the money.
I can't afford it.
Okay, listen.
I swear to God, I can't afford it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm literally on SSDI.
But-
I'm homeless.
That may become their issue regarding any amount I give in collection of it.
I mean, I'll have to file for bankruptcy, and then I mean that all washes away. If I file for bankruptcy, then
Then he gets, well, I don't know what the bankruptcy court is.
it's washed. I mean, you are talking to a disabled street kid that was forced out of his home because of rats and lost his job because of rats. While the whole time the landlord is saying, "You're lying. There is no problem." Then I have professionals backing me up, and then I have him saying that like, "Oh, he's told other neighbors that he's gonna shoot me." Where is that neighbor? That's defamation. I mean, I know that's like a different court case, and I have to go get a lawyer, blah, 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 blah. I know we're just talking about money today, not defamation. That's a different case. I get it. I'm not dumb. But I mean, like, I've been defamed. I've been put on the street. I have lost my job. I've lost my clothes. I've lost my health. I've lost literally almost everything because Mr. Weasel is not maintaining his property. I mean, I'm repeating myself because I'm just expecting you to just slam dunk on these people and pay me and shame these people and wish me well. That's what I thought. I mean, you have a reputation of being an all-star judge in Michigan. I expect you.
I don't know if that's the case.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
My kids think of me that way, but I don't know anybody else.
I mean, I'm not
No,
gonna say-
listen,
I know you're
listen,
good.
sir, listen. You may have thought you knew what I would do in this case. There are attorneys that come in every day thinking they know what I'm going to do, and then they become greatly surprised. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the law. I may feel for you. I may have sympathy for what your plight is, but I'm going to follow the law. That's how it works.
That's what I want you to do is to follow the law.
And that's what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that there's no tribal issue. I am going to give him credit for the $200 gas bill. So I'll award, and also I will not charge him cost. So I will award a total judgment amount of $1,570.19. The escrow will be released to plaintiff. That is the court's ruling. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
I did write it.
Thanks for your time. Judge.
Thank you, sir. Why didn't you do your alcohol screening and assessment?
Forgot to print it out.
What?
I said I forgot to print it out.
Oh.
Today's the date and time that was originally set for sentencing. I have received and reviewed the recommendation from probation with Ms. Johnson. She has not, we do acknowledge she has not completed the alcohol screening and assessment through Von Schwartz, and she did miss a test on July 1st. I did discuss this with her yesterday on the phone and advised her to go to community corrections as soon as possible to try to test. She informed me, and so did her father, who is here with her today, that she did go to community corrections this morning before court and was there for about 45 minutes. And they said she was unable to test this morning. We are respectfully requesting that the court not remand her at this time and that we adjourn the sentencing out in August to give her the opportunity to complete the alcohol screening and assessment. She is gainfully employed at St. Joe's. She does not want to lose that job. In the alternate, if the court is inclined to remand her in both speaking with Ms. Johnson and her father, Our request would be to protect
This is a classic courtroom rule playing out in real time. The judge refuses to read the document until it's shown to the opposing attorney first. That's because courts require both sides to see any evidence being submitted. It prevents surprises and keeps the process fair. But notice something else here. The defendant is eager to explain his side immediately, while the court is slowing things down to follow procedure. That tension between personal frustration and legal structure is something we see in courtrooms every day.
potentially allow that remand to happen a couple weeks in the future so she can take time off work at St. Joe so she does not lose that job. Other than that, Your Honor, we respectfully request an adjournment of the sentencing.
And Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, I did communicate with Community Corrections this morning. She did go over, and she wasn't scheduled to do a test today, so she did not test. She did do her download of her scram. I just confirmed with them that there was no violations on the scram. However, she had not reported to them after June 15th. So there was quite a bit of info that they had to download on that. So I do know that there was no violations on the scram. However, probation also wants to point out to the court that this court did direct her back on April 3rd, I believe, and warned her about any further mistesting. So she was given a warning by this court back in April about her remaining compliant with the testing.
Why?
Why what?
Why'd you miss a test? I mean, I gave you a huge break back in April and just told you, just don't miss the test. You remember that, right?
Yep.
And then when you pled, why didn't you do your alcohol screening and assessment?
Forgot to print it out.
What?
I said I forgot to print it out.
Oh, you do so much. I mean, I didn't send you the last time. I'll re-refer to defendant Tuvon Swartz for completion of her alcohol screening and assessment. Young lady, understand something. If you don't do it, and I don't have that alcohol screening and assessment, the only thing that I can really sentence you to is the maximum time. And I don't want
The
to.
paper,
What?
the paper,
What?
all the lists on it. What is Von Schwartz?
That's for your alcohol screening and assessment.
Is there somebody I'm supposed to go to? What does that name stand for?
That's somebody that you need to call to set up an appointment so that they can interview you and do an assessment.
Okay.
And Your Honor, my office, I know that the clerk's office sends things out. My office also sent an email to her on June 5th, which gave her the packet and the information for the alcohol assessment in addition to the information to complete the victim's impact.
You need to pay a $75 referral fee. Do you have that?
No.
Adjourn her sentence at August 28, 2024, 9 a.m. Young lady, you are leaving me with no options. And I have a feeling that if you don't follow this, that I'm going to end up sending you for the maximum time. I don't want to do that. I'm going to end up finding you in contempt and sending you. So in this, I'm going to, for the bond violation, I'm going to remand her for 3 days. Washtenaw County Jail for the bond violation. And it's remanded. Jessica, is that Dan?
Yes, sir.
Get her back. Hang on one second. Go ahead, take her back. Come on up can you come up to the phone? What's your name, sir?
Tony Johnson.
Okay. Can you help try to get her through
Yes, I will definitely make sure that she does it. She lives with her mom, so I don't kind of know the things that kind of goes on. So I'm just coming to support, and I just was hoping that you didn't take her to jail because
I know.
she need this job so bad.
I know. And I trust me, I did not want to. Miss Clara, can you give to Dad the Von Swartz information and the victim's impact information so that he has it, so that I get where he is. So that he knows what she has to do.
Yeah, sure.
So
I do know, I heard him in the hallway, really getting after her for not doing things. So I think that he will.
Well, I don't doubt
If
that.
you stop by my office, sir, I'll ask them to give you the paper printed out.
Is that in this
It's
building?
right down the hallway.
Okay.
And so I'll tell them you're coming right down.
And,
Okay.
I have the $75 for any fee or whatever that she might have needed to pay. I do have the money, so.
Subscribe now and comment below. Was the judge's decision fair?
And there it is, the judge's final ruling. Even though the tenant described a difficult and emotional situation, the court focused on what could actually be proven. The judge even credited the tenant for part of the gas bill, but ultimately ruled that unpaid rent still had to be paid, resulting in a judgment of $1,570.19. This case highlights a tough reality about the legal system. Sympathy doesn't replace evidence. What do you think? Did the judge make the right decision here, or should the tenant have been given more consideration? If you enjoy real courtroom breakdowns like this, like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more courtroom stories.